Hey everyone and welcome back. So today a little bit different. I'm going to be doing GeoGrid. Now a few different people online have been doing this one. Most recently, at least that I saw, was GeoPeter. Obviously, if you've been with the channel for a while, you'll know I quite like GeoPeter. I've watched a few of his videos. He's even commented on some of my stuff here. So I've seen this and it looks like fun because it's not just GeoGuessr knowledge. There's some trivia and some knowledge about maps and stuff in there, as well as flags. And flags are the one thing that I think even in the video, GeoPeter speaks about the fact that his flag knowledge isn't that great. Now, that's one of the things that helps me with GeoGuessr. So my flag knowledge on this one thing may actually be slightly better than Peter's. So we're just going to see how we do. But he's actually shown a few of the grids that he's done and some of the scores. So pick out a couple of those and see if we can beat his score.
Okay,
so
let's go for one more game. I enjoyed this. Oh, by the way, I have played this game on stream a few times.
Here we go,
so
look.
if you want, you can
different ones that he's done.
With
now,
some of these scores.
I can see a couple in there.
With help.
So if we go back, then we can see just what he's managed to do. Now, if we're looking at scores here, I think a decent score. He does say in the video that anything around 100 or less than 100 is pretty good. So why don't we go after 109.8 and 114. So that's on board 21 and board 19, because then that way we can see if we can beat him. None of the rest of them, because he's got some very good scores there if we go on with some of them. But let's pick out the ones that we think we might have a chance and take on GeoPeter. Okay, so we're just on here now, and as you can see, it kind of defaults to the most recent board, which is board 43, which I'm sure I will do in my own time. But what we want to do is we want to go to boards 19 and 21. Those are the ones we're going for. We're going to take on Peter. He said to do it in the episode, so we're going to try. So let's try board 19. I haven't seen these before, so let's see what we can do. I know he did these on stream, so it's probably not the best representation. He did say he did some of these on stream, so it was with a lot of his community. So some of the answers he probably didn't want to put, but got outvoted. So, what are the clues we've got? So, going across the top, flag with a star. Okay, there's a lot of flags with stars, so that doesn't narrow it down too much, but obviously that's what the rest of them for. Population of over 5 million. Okay. It takes out a few small ones, takes out some of the European and some of the African countries. Capital city population under 5 million. Okay, again, that takes out a few. Was part of the USSR. Now, I am old enough to remember. Just. I was born into it. Okay, but that's going to move it along. Ends with the letter S. Okay, that makes things a bit more interesting. Especially when you put it with a flag that's got a star and everything as well. Okay. And then starts with the letter S. A lot more countries start with the letter S. So let's see what we've got. Okay. So, part of the USSR and that has flags. Now, there's not as many of these as I think you might think. There's a lot of countries with stars, but not that many in Europe and that kind of Asia, like top of Asia. That Russia had during the time of the USSR. The only two that come into mind are Turkmenistan and Tajikistan. I think they both have stars on them, but I'm just thinking across like Lithuania, Ukraine, Poland, none of them have stars. Germany, I mean the old German flag maybe did at the time, because that's changed a few times, but I don't think so. I think it's got to be Turkmenistan or Tajikistan. Which one of them are people not going to say? Oh my god. There's probably something really obvious, but I don't know. Let's say Tajikistan. So I'm going to try and spell it now. Tajikistan. Oh, okay, as you just come up. Rare. That's what we want. We want epic. I think that's or legendary or whatever that comes up. So the idea should probably fill you in on the rest of this, because you may have not seen GeoPeter's episode. Basically, as he says in the video, it's like golf. The lowest score is best. So the better you score, the rarer, the better. A bit like if you're in the UK, the TV show Pointless. You probably have an idea from that. Okay, so population over 5 million. I feel like, and was part of the USSR. Okay. I mean, a population over, I mean, would Germany count because it was only East Germany? I don't know. Where else do we go through? I mean, we've got most of the countries there. Hungary, Belarus, no, it's really not big enough. Estonia and Latvia, I feel like we should do Latvia in honor of GeoPeter, but I don't know if it's actually that big. Actually, we just said Turkmenistan was one of the options there. Is Turkmenistan big enough? Because we're going for the rarest. I feel like Turkmenistan is bigger than you'd think. I am going to go with, just because it was in my head from the other one, Turkmen. Oh, I'm loving the fact that it actually comes up with this, so I don't have to worry about it. Oh, fuck yeah. Legendary. That is what we're going for. That is what we're going for. There's only in my head because of the star. I don't think I'd have thought about that unless I was thinking about stars. And I was right. Look, you can see the stars in there. Okay. Okay. Ooh, capital population under 5 million. Okay, now that's... Okay, so... During the time of the USSR... then... I mean, Moldova. Moldova is still very small now. Where else is there that's got a population under 5 million? Definitely not Ukraine, definitely not Germany. Hungary's too big, Poland's too big. I think it is just Moldova, right? Unless, of course, like Latvia, I think Latvia's bigger. I'm gonna have to go with Moldova and hope, because if not, I don't know if I can think of anywhere. Okay. Epic. Really? See, that's, I find quite funny that that's epic, because I can't think... There's probably some really obvious answers, but I can't actually think of any others. I can't think of an obvious answer that would be like a common answer. Because if we get one that everyone's gone with, it'd just say common. But what the hell is the common answer for that? Because to me, Moldova's the common answer. Okay. Ends with an S. Oh, but wait, we're allowed one one wrong answer. Okay, so we're allowed to get it wrong once. Okay. Ends with letter S. Flag with a star. Ends with an S. Ends with an S. Ends, Jesus Christ, what a... ends with an S that has stars. Okay, so what have we got that got stars? United States, obviously, but it's not the United States. It's the United States of America. And that's the thing as well. I don't know how specific this is, because a lot of countries aren't the name that you think of them as. Like, a lot of, like, it's the Kingdom of Spain, for instance. It's not just Spain, it's the Kingdom of Spain. So do you say that starts with a K? Like, so it's, that's the thing to remember as well. So the United States, it's not going to be the United States, because that's the United States of America. It's the obvious one with stars. Morocco. Oh my God. Australia, New Zealand. Philippines has stars, right? Okay. Just thinking of countries with an S at the end is helpful. Okay, I think the best one here is going to be islands, isn't it? Because that always ends with an S. Like, you know, Turks and Caicos. No. Falkland Islands, no. Virgin Islands. Virgin Islands Protectorate. Falkland Islands are a protectorate as well, but I don't think Falklands have a star in them. Solomon Islands. Yes. Solomon Islands does have a star, right? It does have a star. Solomon Islands. I'm gonna go for that because, oh bloody hell, I think That's going to be the best one, surely. I mean, what the hell else? Solomon. Come on. Don't be a protectorate. Oh, yes. Rare. Okay, I'll take rare. I didn't expect anything better than rare on that. Okay. Okay, what the hell is the best one for that? Solomon Islands. That just jumped into my head because they're quite prominent, the stars in the Solomon Islands one. But part of me was wondering whether the Solomon Islands were a protectorate as well. A lot of islands are. Okay, so just... population over 5 million ends with an S. So you've got, what? Comoros? But I don't think Comoros is big enough. You've got Philippines, which is definitely big enough. The Philippines has a much bigger population. Mauritius... That's an obvious one as well, but what's the population of Mauritius? So that's the thing, the countries I'm thinking of, I don't know how big the population is. I think the Philippines is, I mean, it's a guaranteed one, isn't it? I feel like the Philippines is my puppy here. I keep going to type it without pressing. I think it's got to be my puppy here because I know this is going to be the common answer, it's got to be, but I cannot think of anything else. Rare. That's another one like Moldova for me. What is the common answer? Like, what is the common answer for that? Netherlands. Okay, it could be one like that. Okay, right. Ends with an S. Capital city. Population under 5 million. Having just said Netherlands, the Netherlands. Okay, so Netherlands, I think Comoros, I was just saying it a minute ago, but I think that is a small one, so that's probably a low population. Mauritius, Barbados. Okay, we've got a mix. Which people are going to say, though? Is Netherlands the obvious answer? Because I'm pretty sure the capital city population is under 5 million. But then, a lot of capitals are under 5 million, but is it including, like, the metropolitan area? Like London City is like a mile square, but if you're talking about the whole thing, I'm gonna go for Comoros. I think Comoros is the one that people have less likely heard of. So let's go Comoros. Okay, epic. We'll take it. I nearly went Barbados, but I think too many people have known about it. Okay. Starts with an S, and it's got a flag with a star. The one that's just in my head, like, yes, it's that, is Syria. But Syria's so obvious. Because the stars are right in the middle. I think there's 3 stars, right? Is it black at the top? Yeah, I mean, the stars are very prominent in the Syrian flag. It starts with an S. Somalia? I'm trying to think of Somalia. I think that Somalia might, but starts with an S. Starts with an S that's got a... Suriname doesn't have any stars. Why does Suriname have stars? So this is the flag knowledge I was talking about before that I have over Peter, but I think even that's starting to let me down now. Okay. Come on, Munzer. Give me energy. Give me energy to think. Not G Fuel. I'm not a Twitch stream anymore, so I don't do G Fuel. Okay. Do I just... I mean, I've got one false guess. So I could just... I'm gonna... do I go for it? Do I just say Suriname? And just... You know what? I don't know why I'm thinking Suriname. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably very wrong. But I've got one false guess, so... Yes! God damn, yes! Suriname, right in the goddamn middle. I'm there thinking, oh, am I right? Am I right? And it's a sodding great star right in the middle. Am I right? Does it have a star? Well, I don't know. Does it? Fucking hell. Right, okay. Okay. Stars with the letter... Starts with the letter S. Population over 5 million. Okay, there's loads of these. I mean, we've got Saudi Arabia. We got Sudan, Spain. I don't think South Sudan. I think that's too small. Spain, you can throw that, that's too obvious. Saudi Arabia, I think that's too obvious as well. Sudan? I think Sudan's still big, isn't it? Even with the split with South Sudan in the early 2000s. Early 2000s? Something like that. Yeah, I think it's... I'm trying to think of anything else. St. Kitts and Nevis, I don't think that's anywhere near big enough. I think that's far down the list. I'm going to have to go with it. I think Sudan is my puppy here. Sudan. Okay, epic as well. We'll take it. Okay, we've got one legendary, a few epics, and a few rares. So I think rare is probably more common than the common, it looks to me. Okay, starts with S. Capital city population under 5 million. Okay, well, Suriname is small enough that it would be Suriname. But I can't say Suriname because I mentioned it already. That's the thing as well, Peter also mentioned, you can't use one that you've already used, which is why I was a bit more like tactical earlier on in the game. So I can't use Suriname. Okay, St. Lucia, it's a small one. Where else is going to have it? San Marino. If anyone doesn't know where San Marino is a small, like, city. Is it a city-state? I don't know if it's called just the city. I think it is. There's more to it. But San Marino is a small state in northeast area of Italy. That's got to be. That's an S. Yeah. I don't know how many people would have thought about San Marino. I think people kind of forget it's a thing. Oh. Game summary. Come back to play again. Okay. So my score was 92.8. Under 100. We got you on that one, Peter. We got you on that one. Let's see if we can keep doing this. But we got you on that one. Okay. My rank is 1,082nd out of 10,095. 10,295. Okay, so what are the most popular answers? Because I'm intrigued by this. Okay, so Azerbaijan was the most popular. The idea that Azerbaijan is a popular answer, that's amazing. Okay, Ukraine. Okay, that makes sense as the most popular one. Okay, because it's a huge population there. Capital city under Estonia. See, I did think about Estonia, Latvia. I did think about that. Ends with an S. Comoros. Comoros was uncommon for a different answer, but I said it for a different answer. Okay, so just where I put it. San Marino, by the way, that I put is an epic, but it is the most most popular answer. I don't know how that works. Okay, Laos for ends with an S. Didn't even come into my head. Seychelles for capital. Somalia, I did think about Somalia. Spain, I said was going to be the most common. Okay. Well, that's one down. 92.8. Now, next up is board 21. Let's see if we can do 2 in a row of taking out Geo Peter here. Okay. So, the first one we've got starts with letter S and has a coastline in the Indian Ocean. Okay, so the two that come to mind there are Sri Lanka and Seychelles. I think Sri Lanka's the most obvious answer. And I'm not going to be good with the geography around there, so I'm just going to go with Seychelles. I think that's kind of the safer option. Okay, rare. Okay. So I think Sri Lanka is probably the most common one there. Okay, it's in Africa and it has a coastline in the Indian Ocean. Okay, so Mozambique, Comoros again. It's weird because Comoros is kind of one of those countries people forget exist, but it's been an answer in my head and on here several times now. But people are going to know Mozambique is really popular as well. I'm going to say Comoros again, surprisingly here. I'm going to try and whip through this one so we don't have too much of a long episode. Yes. Okay, epic on that one. All right. Sure. Human Development Index under over 0.9. Oh my god. Sri Lanka, I mean, surely. Sri Lanka's got to be over. No, Sri Lanka's not over. Oh my god, okay. So Human Development Index is like how well somebody's doing with education, health, everything else. That's the Human Index. Human Development over. I mean, the other one, Mauritius. Mauritius has got to be over. I mean, Mauritius is like it's got to be over. I would have thought. Oh my god. I can't complete it. No. No. Okay. Well, my human index knowledge has immediately for that one. Okay, we took on GeoPeter for one of those, and we beat him pretty well, I think. But the second one, I think we're stuck straight away. Should we see how well we can do otherwise? Human index is out. I clearly am not versed in that, but let's try the others. Capital city population under 500,000 and starts with an S. St. Kitts and Nevis, that seems like a good go-to. Or St. Vincent the Grenadines. No. Go with that instead. Because that's got to be it. I didn't think about it, but I started putting Saint in. I'll nick the answer. Okay, in Africa, 500,000 population. I know. Namibia. Namibia. That's got to be one. There are these small little nations in Africa that can do that. Namibia. Legendary, baby. Legendary. Okay. Population under 5 million. Starts with an S. Okay. Well, I'm thinking again the Solomon Islands that I thought of on the first map. St. Lucia again. St. Kitts and Nevis. Which I didn't answer the other one. I'm going to go Solomon Islands, actually. I think that's less well known than St. Kitts and Nevis. So, Solomon Islands. Yes, epic. Okay. And then population under 5 million in Africa. Okay. Well, I can't use Namibia now. That probably would have been a good one. Okay. Well, Lesotho, Eswatini, obvious ones, but also very obvious, you know. Eritrea, Namibia, obviously. Botswana, probably well known, but against the others. Let's go Botswana. Let's go Botswana. Botswana. Legendary. Okay, it was better than I thought. I've got 2 guesses left, and I can't do it. So I managed to do them pretty quickly. I actually think these questions were a bit easier. This screwed me. So, Peter, if you're out there and you're seeing this, I don't know if you are, but I can see why you didn't get under 100 for this grid. Jesus. That's going to be something I have to come back to. So I'm going to be giving that one up, and I may try it again. But I hope you've enjoyed that. I did that second grid a lot faster, basically, because when I realised I couldn't do it by getting 2 wrong answers, I just whipped through it. The first one, I paid a lot more attention. But I hope you've enjoyed that. I think it's fun doing these, especially when there's, you know, there's no. I think sometimes in these videos people just steal ideas or cause animosity or whatever. But I just enjoyed GeoPeter's stuff. I've seen this a few times, and I think it's fun to just try and take on someone who is, you know, a GeoGuessr person, worked for GeoGuessr, and that kind of stuff with geography. So I think there's a lot of fun doing that. But I've got you on one map, Peter. One map at least. Yeah. That was fun. That was fun. Let me know if you'd like me to do that again. I'd love to. I'm going to try a few more of these in my spare time. Probably this grid again in my spare time. Gonna, you know, brush up on my knowledge of the HDI. Jesus. But I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks, everyone.